This video is how to deploy VPC with NoNAT Gateway on AWS using Azure DevOps pipelines. So we have this pipeline. We're going to run this. While it's working, let's check it out. So we're using EC2 instance here with the agent configured, but that's it. It's only a Linux with the Azure DevOps agent configured. So that's why we're using here this script to configure, install and configure the AWS CLI. Okay, so in this approach, you can use ephemeral agents. Okay, so here the AWS configure is using variables for the access key, the secret access key, the profile name, region, and so on. Then the script will deploy the AWS CloudFormation, okay, again with the variables and the template file. This is the template file declared here. Okay, so the variables are here. So in this approach, we can just change a variable and use the same template. Now, this is tricky because this is deploying network and subnets. So if you'll change something here, you need to verify that the network changes are okay with what the current instances are using. So in this example, if we deploy already deployed stack with the value VPC NoNAT, it will update the current stack. But if we add here or modify this value, it will deploy a new one. Okay, so all the network parameters and subnets are configured in the template. Okay, so when you deploy this kind of template, CloudFormation template and network to AWS, you need to think about other agents and other networks because you probably want to do VPC peering at some point. So let's check the stack. The stack is deployed. Now let's do a refresh for the VPC. Okay, and in this account, we have this VPC. This VPC is the default VPC that comes with any AWS account. As you can see, this is the CIDR, okay, /16. And this second one is the VPC we just deployed. Okay, so it's a different CIDR. Okay, in this scenario, we can use peering between those two because the address doesn't overlap. Okay, so if you're deploying additional VPCs, then you need to verify the CIDRs. Okay, the resource map, as you can see, this is the VPC NoNAT VPC, and we have two subnets here. Both are public. Okay, and they're connected to the internet using ElasticIP, public ElasticIP, and the Internet Gateway. Okay, so that's how instances in those subnets can connect to the internet. Now, in this scenario, we're assuming the subnets are okay to have an elastic public IP. Okay, maybe you'll want to do private IPs and don't want a public IP. Okay, then you need to add NAT Gateway. But in this scenario, we're going to assume that instances with public IP are okay. So let's check the subnets. Okay, so we go to subnets. Okay, this is the VPC we deployed, and we have the two public subnets. Let's pick this one. And now we have all kind of details that we can verify. For example, this is the CIDR of the IPv4, which using /22. In this /22, we have 1019 available IP addresses to use. And as you can see, the auto-assigned public IP addresses is set to yes, meaning every instance, EC2 instance that will be using this subnet will get an IP address from this addresses, this pool of addresses, which we have available 119, and it will get an elastic public IP address. And that specific instance can go online directly using the NAT Gateway. Doesn't need NAT Gateway for this. Okay, so this is one scenario you can use for your networking using AWS.